podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
The 2024 NFL schedule is out. We know exactly who Miami are facing, when they are facing them, and the road to not only the playoffs, but hopefully the Super Bowl. If you are watching on YouTube, you will notice that my background looks different. I probably sound different if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast from. But before we delve into all of that, Charlie Touche, how are you?
I'm coolin', bro. It's cool to get the information. You had the who, you had the where, but now you got the when, and I'm ready for it. It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. I got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, Kadeem. Schedule release. What we got in the comments, Holmes?
So shout out to Kenneth Rankins says, sup everyone. Shout out to JML says, after what's up fellas. And then Kenneth asks how you're feeling about Thanksgiving Day game in Green Bay. Shout out to IMAC says, what's up Kadeem, Charlie and chat. So before we delve into all of that, like I said, I am not in London. I am in a small European country called Malta. I have my laptop with me because I knew obviously the schedule release was on Wednesday, but I've got no microphone, I've got no Coach K headset. The internet connection will hopefully be as good as possible, but there was no way I could wait an extra day without delving into this schedule. And before we delve into anything, my background reminds me of a hotel Charlie was in last time he was in, not last time, the time before he was in London. What do you reckon, Charlie?
Bro, your background kind of in there, bro. Like, I'm like, oh, that's pretty dope. I think it looks kind of like a wallpaper, like it was a huge window behind you or something, but it's obviously a wallpaper now that you adjusted the camera. But yeah, man, it's pretty dope back there.
Yeah, it's somewhere in Malta. I don't know where it is. My main concern right now is internet connection being throughout this entire episode. But yeah, we it's interesting over here at Go Time Dolphins. We people know we have sources. We got the schedule release hours before everyone else did, but we couldn't say anything. So we've had a brief discussion in terms of what you think of it, but the first time in front of everyone we can truly delve into it. I guess before you ask me, what do you make of the schedule, Charlie?
I think at first glance, I'm like, we got the division. You know what I'm saying? Like, first glance is, all right, we got the division. Buffalo's supposed to take a step back this year. I'm not going to get my, what did they say? Head over skis or something like that. I guess it's a skiing term. I guess you lean too far forward, probably you fall. I don't know. I'm not going to get ahead of my skis, I think they say, right? So I seen it. I'm like, yo, I'm good with this. I'm happy with this. One of the first things I noticed was you obviously the first like 6 games. I don't know if we got it. Can we bring it up? Is that possible? Probably not. Your internet tripping. So yeah, we got shout out to Fire Ali with the graphic, pretty dope graphic. I wonder why Kadeem didn't use the one with me and him on it, but it's cool. So we had the first 6 games. We got Jacksonville, Buffalo, Seattle, Tennessee, Patriots, a bye, and the Colts. I'm like, man, we're gonna walk through that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be cool. We're gonna be all right. But the next thing I noticed was the last 6 games, which is Green Bay, Paper Plains, Houston, San Fran, Cleveland, and the Paper Planes again. To be fair, that's the hardest part of the schedule. And the last 2 games are what they call cold weather games, is at Cleveland, at Paper Planes. And I'm like, by this time, we should be, I shouldn't say full strength, but Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb should be back. Friend of the podcast, Bradley Chubb, should already be back. So I'm like, yo, I kind of like what we got here. Because you mess around and open up 5-1, 4-1, whatever, 4-2. I think we'll be better than 4-2 in the first 6. But if you open up 5-1 and friend of the podcast, Bradley Chubb, come back and Jalen Phillips come back halfway through the season, the rich just got richer. So I was happy with this. What about you? What was at first glance? What did you notice at first?
So as I bring it back up, my first glance, and this was before the official schedule came out, was the fact that we had five primetime games. So obviously over here in the UK/London/Europe, Thursday night football is Friday morning football. Sunday night football is Monday morning. You get the gist. If we are on prime time, it means if you're in Europe, you are not sleeping. You are staying awake throughout all of it. And that first primetime game, Buffalo week 2, short week. I'm glad it's at home, but that Miami Heat, that sun beaming down on Buffalo, once again they managed to avoid it. They moaned about it once and haven't had to play that 1 p.m. Miami Heat game essentially. So that's my first thought was essentially the primetime games. Week 4 at home against the Titans. It's like the schedule makers saw collapse between the Dolphins and Titans last year and was like, we're going to run it back. It's like Dolphins, Titans, primetime. Was it really needed? I don't think so, but it is what it is. And then, as someone said in the comments, and I believe it was, Thanksgiving against Green Bay. That seems like it's a forced narrative game. Jordan Love to our same draft class, but again, did it really need to be Thanksgiving primetime? Not as bad as the others, but yeah. I think I messaged yourself, 5 Yard League and Parlay J. I can see how we win the AFC East. It doesn't seem like the hardest run of games, like you mentioned, 2 end of season cold weather games on the road, but I then like to think the division is wrapped up. So yeah, so much to progress, but essentially this isn't a difficult schedule.
Hold up. Green Bay plays Thanksgiving every year, don't they? Green Bay, Detroit, and Cowboys. No? I thought they're locked into Thanksgiving. I think they're locked in. I think Green Bay is one of those teams that's locked into Thanksgiving. I'm sure Detroit is one of them, and I'm sure the Cowboys are one of them. I thought Green Bay was one of them too. I could be wrong. But all that being said, somebody got to play on Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it doesn't matter to me when we play Green Bay, but somebody got to play them. I'll say this. What I don't like was, okay, we don't play Buffalo in the heat, right? They got out of that. But it's fair because we don't play them in the cold. So it's like, all right, well, that balanced out. It didn't balance out with the Paper Planes, though. So the Paper Planes is the team that we should be like, oh, y'all avoided us in the heat. You see what I'm saying? So we get the Paper Planes in the last game of the season in the cold, but they don't get us in the heat. So I didn't really like that. Buffalo, I was like, all right, whatever. I like the fact that we got Buffalo early because they should still be figuring stuff out. They got their young receiver now. The team's going to be going through it without Diggs. I like them to take a couple L's early. If you look at the Paper Plane schedule, the NFL wants the Paper Planes to do so good, bro. They just gave them softballs. Like, look, we're gonna set this thing up so you guys could ease in to the division and ease into victories, and we'll ease in Aaron Rodgers. You feel me? So I didn't appreciate that. They got some softballs. The first like half of their schedule is a walk in the park. But for us, I'm like, yo, I'm here for it. I'm here for however they want to do it. We don't have like, I think we have 2 home games. Well, it's up and right in front of us, but from what I remember, it's 2 home games that are back to back. Right, somewhere in the schedule, we got back to back home games. We open with that, and then the Raiders and the Patriots another back to back, and then later on in the schedule, we have 2 away games that are back to back. Every other than those 2 games or those 4 instances, it's home away, home away, home away. I wonder what that looks like. You know, traveling and then chilling, or not chilling, but home game, traveling, home game, traveling, home game. There's nothing that someone can conjure up and say, "Oh wow, I think this is against us," and this isn't in our favor. I think the entire schedule is in our favor, bro. I'm cool with it. I'm happy with it. I don't even think it's a tough schedule. As a matter of fact, I think we have the easiest schedule in the AFC East. And not only the easiest schedule in the AFC East, I think we have the easiest schedule, the second easiest schedule in the AFC overall. I think that's what it is. I'll double check that.
Yeah, that definitely sounds about right. And it's one of those things where it seems easy on paper on May 15th, 16th, whenever the schedule comes out. Once teams start playing, once injuries happen, once trades happen, it's completely different. Quickly through the comments, and shout out to everyone joining us live, shout out to everyone joining us after the fact. Jason Keck has fins up. Shout out to JML, says, I have a different take on the 1 p.m. home games. The opposing teams have to do it once, while our guys have to do it every time. Even in the sun, I think it's brutal on our injury, dehydration. I'm curious what our injury reports are for 1 p.m. games the last 2 years. Shout out to the great Finns fan. He says, yo, what's good, everyone? Kenneth Rankins asked about the Vegas game. We'll mention that shortly. Jason Keck's not a fan. The bye week sucks. That's a long stretch for injuries to mount. If we make the playoffs, we will be limping again. 4 of the last 6 games are on the road. Jay Moore says way too many primetime games. Kenneth Rankins says, how are you going to overlook a team that beat us 2 years in a row in the Titans? And then, yeah, there's more comments talking about, obviously, injuries and stuff like that. I think one thing I did, again, in one of our many group chats, we mentioned the early bye week. So bye week 6, one thing I remember vividly about last season was, shout out to same old Dolphins and Josh Kaskar. He mentioned the bye week we had last season, and he said essentially the Dolphins have I think the bye week was like week 10 and week 11, but he essentially said, and I'm paraphrasing obviously, having a bye when it is good is what it is. Can the Dolphins be healthy after the bye week? Me, with an early bye week, I'm not the biggest fan, because if you get any injuries after it, you don't have that like week break. But it doesn't matter. Essentially, does we I'm not even jinxing anyone. We know that Jalen Phillips and friend of the podcast Bradley Chubb are going to come in around that Cardinals Bills games, maybe earlier. We know that Teron Armstead is going to pick up multiple injuries throughout the season. So hopefully the Dolphins have enough depth to withstand any injuries, regardless of who it is. I'm not talking about QB injuries. It doesn't matter. And yeah, you mentioned it. There's no long stretches on the road where we're traveling, thousands upon thousands of miles. It's back-to-back away games, week 9 and week 10, and then again week 17, week 18. This team needs to find a way to stay healthy throughout the 18 weeks and, win games essentially.
So correct me if I'm wrong, and you could probably start this search, fact check, stat check, probably 3 seasons ago. But I believe for the past 3 seasons, we've had bye weeks after week 9 or week 8. So it's like, I know last year we had one after week 8, and the year before we had one after week 8. But we got breaks. We got breaks with the bye week for the past who knows how many years. It is what it is. They got to move it around. But I think three of the past 4 years we've had good bye weeks. The first thing a player in the NFL looks at, the first thing they look at when the schedule comes out, they're not as excited as we are. We're fans. We get geeked up over small things. Players don't really get geeked up over things like we do as fans. But the first thing a player does look at when he looks at the schedule release, when's the bye week? That's the first thing they look at. 90% of them want a later bye week, obviously, for obvious reasons. You're going to be sore. After week 1, everyone is nursing something. Every single player in the NFL is nursing something after week 1. So we don't want the early bye week, but it is what it is. We've been fortunate to not have it the past few years. We just didn't capitalize on it.
So, stat check, fact check. That's the wrong season. That makes no sense. But 2021, the bye week was week 14. Heading into the bye week, we were 6-7, and then for the season 9-8. That was the season where Tua got injured week 2 against Buffalo, came back against Jacksonville. We used to play Jacksonville was London, wasn't it? Or was it Falcons London? Yeah, 2021.
Oh, then we lost Kadeem. Internet was there you go. Yeah, bro. I was about to say, like, your internet was holding on by a thread, and we got you back. But yeah. So yeah, I think it's the last 3 years we had good bye weeks. You just said 21. Yeah. We know last year we had a good bye week, and 22? 2022
was week 11.
See what I'm saying? We that's cool. 14, 11, and 10. Like, come on, bro. We can't complain about week 6 bye right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. And again, it's not even about when bye week is. It's about, no offense, it's injury luck. The Dolphins after the bye last season lost what? Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, Twan Armstead. Like, again, like what Josh Caskin said, it's about staying healthy. No matter when the bye is, are you healthy down the stretch? And by the time we play the Chiefs in the playoffs, we don't need to, go back and look at how many injuries we had. So, yeah. Tim Carroll says early bye week might mean Chubb back for more. Shout out to Jason Keck, he's still complaining about the blue last week. And JML says smash that like button. Yeah. If you join us live, join us after the fact. Smash that like button, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon. If there's a social media platform, we are on there. We are working tirelessly to get Instagram back up as soon as possible. And then Cap for Life says, gentlemen, your thoughts on the schedule? I say 10-7. I don't think we've delved into that yet, Charlie. What do you make of right now, May? What's your way too early prediction for the 2024 schedule?
Before I get into a way too early prediction, I do want to address JML when he said he has a different take on the 1 o'clock games. He said, our players have to play in the 1 o'clock games all the time. So they got to play in that sun all the time. Opposing teams only got to play in it once if they're not a non-division opposing team. Matter of fact, all of them probably got only playing it once because it's a home away thing. So yeah, that's an interesting take from JML. However, I would say there's I think how you say it in the UK, acclimatize.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So it's an acclimation. You get acclimated. There's a period if you live in Florida for long enough, you don't sweat bullets as soon as you hit the humidity. Unlike other people, they get off the plane and they're like, "Yo, it's a sauna down here." So I'm okay again with we're in Florida, we're in South Florida, we can use it to our advantage. You're gonna get adjusted, and it just comes with the territory. Same thing with the cold weather. If you're a cold weather team, it doesn't bother you as much to play in the cold. Especially if you've been on this team for 3, 4, 5 years and you just got to play in the snow, it is what it is. So no, I'm okay with our advantage and our disadvantages. I like it where we are. We just got to take advantage when we can. But my way too early prediction, Kadeem. And I think last season, my way too early prediction was 12-5. And at the time of the season starting, it was 13-4. This year, I really want to say my way too early prediction is 14. And how many games is it? 16? 17 games? So I guess I had the math wrong previously. Bro, I really want to say we're going to be like 15-2. I really want to say that. There was a time, Kadeem, when the Dolphins went 1-15, bro. And my claim to fame was always saying, yo, I was a fan. I was here when we were 1-15, and I'm going to be here when we go 15-1. You know what I'm saying? I always said that. You feel me? But I feel like this is the year we go 15-2. But that's not what I'm putting on paper. I'm going to play it safe and say 14-3. We win the East and we win the 1 seed. And it sounds foolish because I believe it, but I shouldn't, because the Dolphins don't ever prove me right when it comes to this. You know what I'm saying? Now, mid-season, we look great. We were on the path to whatever I said last year, 13-4. You know what I'm saying? And we look great. We were on that road to that. We were going to win the division. We were up. Somebody reminded us on Twitter from Buffalo that we were up 3.5 games with 5 games left in the division and somehow didn't win the division. So, yo, we had the opportunity to close out, not go to Kansas City, and I believe we're going to have that opportunity again. I believe Tua and Mike McDaniel understand, like, nah, bro, we can't drop the ball like that, and we got something to prove this time. So look for the Dolphins to come out and win a minimum of 13 games, bro. I'm dead serious. We're going to win a minimum of 13 games, but my way too early prediction is 14-3.
So something interesting Jason Keck asked. He said, you know nothing about the defense. How can you make any kind of prediction? Want to take that question first, or am I okay to take it?
No, take your prediction first too. Give us your prediction, and then we'll get to that question.
So my prediction is, my way too early prediction is 11-6, and that comes from what Jason Keck says, is that we know nothing about this defense. So me being Kadeem, being super negative, I'm going to go 11-6. That's without knowing, you know, how Odell Beckham fits in this defense, what the offensive line is going to look like.
Hey, Odell Beckham not going to fit in the defense, bro, because he play offense.
See, and there we go. That's Kadeem on minimal sleep in another country and not in his natural environment. Yeah, we don't know. That's why it's called a prediction. I'm predicting something. If I knew how the defense was going to look at anything, I'd put a bet down right now, and I'll be a billionaire essentially. If I get the prediction wrong, the prediction's wrong, but that's part of being a fan. You know, you predict, you make an educated guess, essentially based on what we know from this team, what we know from other teams, and you had a chance to essentially look at or go by every single game. Probably do that in a sec. And Jason Keck said, not being negative on a statement is a legitimate question. And I understand it's a legitimate question. It's just, you know, as we say over and over again, as players, as a franchise, you're looking one game at a time. You know, their focus is on preseason and week 1. As podcasters and content creators, we can look at week 15 right now if we really want to, because it's what we can do. We can sit here right now and go, okay, we're going to break down game by game, wins and losses based on nothing but how we exactly feel. So what I will say before Charlie says anything, I've been to 3 Dolphin games in my life. was it Falcons we lost to last time we saw each other, Charlie?
Atlanta, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And
it was Jacksonville. And the
Saints,
Chiefs.
yeah, Saints, Jacksonville, and the Chiefs. In my seeing them live, we are 0-3. Charlie, I am there for week 1 and week 2. If somehow we go 0-5, Charlie, I am never watching the Dolphins live again. I can't do it.
Hey, if we go 0-5, if we start the season 0-2 because you're at the games, I'm not gonna let you go to another game. How about that? Listen, I gotta highlight Jason Keck. I'm gonna answer Jason Keck's question too because I didn't answer it yet. We didn't know nothing about Vic Fangio and how he would fit in with this team either. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is players win or lose the game. That's it. Yeah, your coaches should help out, put you in the right position to succeed. And are there times where the coaches lose the game? Absolutely. But you still got studs on the field, and they're football players. So I'm gonna be real with you, some players don't even follow the script anyway. Some play like, yo, we're not doing this. We're doing our own thing, and the game's on us, not on the coach. Like, nah, he's tripping. We're about to go out there and play football. And I'm trusting the players on the field to get this done. I don't need to know anything about the DC if I'm being honest with you when I make a prediction. I will say this though, sometimes your coach is going to put you in a situation where Tua looks up and be like, what is Fangio doing? When he let what I think it was the Cowboys had everybody at like the 5-yard line, and the Cowboys caught it short, and I think it ended up working out in our favor, actually, like big time. But yeah, you don't know what DC is going to do, but I have faith in the players, and I have faith in the organization that they got the right DC. So my prediction is my prediction. I'm going with 14-3. I do believe we win a division easily. And I think we're the 1 seed again. I almost said again, but I think we'll be the 1 seed. Like, bro, last 4 weeks of the season, we was talking, yo, we about to be the 1 seed. We could be the 1 seed. It's getting close. I understand how people just doubt. I can understand all the doubt because the Dolphins haven't showed you anything. But there's evidence there last season before we wet the bed. And it's not like we wet the bed on our own accord. Everybody was hurt, bro. Like, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm okay. I don't believe everyone's gonna get hurt again, and then we're gonna be wetting the bed again. I don't believe that. That happens twice. We need to start thinking about something else. Like, all right, it's not our time. It may never be our time if everyone gets hurt again. So I'm all right with that. But Kadeem Simmons is coming to the Sunshine State for his first Miami Dolphin home game. And I'm going to be there for it. Like, yo, and I'm going to give him his wedding present. Is Hannah Montana going to be present?
She is. We are literally talking about when we're going to arrive in Miami, how long we're staying for, everything. So it's going to be emotive. It's going to be a movie. We would obviously talk about anything we have planned nearer the time. But Charlie, I can't see this team take 2 more L's. If we lose both those games, I'm just going to I don't want to think about it. Like, going through the comments, Cap, we would mention this probably after, or obviously had a bonus time. JMR said we had so many fluke injuries where our guys got rolled up on their legs. Just about that, we should be 12-5. JMR says I prefer 1 PM game personally. I'm just not sure they're good for our guys. Cap says Cleveland game is going to be interesting. Shout out to Tim Caro, says you think it's the NFL taking the advantage away. One team at Hard Rock for 1 PM, and it's a Florida team. Others are late early in the season. Cap says the last 6 games are like a gauntlet, or feel like a gauntlet. JMO agrees. Cap says having an early buy might be an issue, and I definitely don't want to hear excuses in December. JMO says Cap hit the coffin on the nail of the head. Tim says little tongue twister there. Tim says GB tough, paper planes, who knows who will be QB by then. Browns, who knows who will be QB by then. Texan full should be test, but is Stroud what he looked like, or will he be a Herbert? And then Charlie, quick question for you. How many field goals did we kick against that Cowboys game?
I know you can't hear me on the audio, but I did the Jason Sanders. You feel me? You already know the Jason Sanders. You can't see me. You feel me? Jason said he should have did that. He should have did the John Cena after he did the 5. But yeah, man, that's forever, bro. That moment, and you know, once the internet gets it, it's a wrap, bro. So that moment, with the Celine Dion music behind the everybody running on the field after we clinched, that was so good, so good. Moment, Go Time Dolphins moment of the year, by the way.
Yeah,
Won a Go Time Dolphins GTD award.
Epic. I honestly don't know what more to add. It's great to finally know like we've known for a while who we're playing. It's that when we're playing them, as I bring up the schedule once again, someone mentioned earlier, week 11 at home against the Raiders. I was going to come down for this game, but it's my mum's birthday on the 17th of November. She turned 60, so I can't miss that back-to-back Raiders Patriots game. But yeah, Charlie, like you said, there's no, like in previous years, we've had 3 road games back-to-back traveling. Was the Chargers, 49ers, and Rams, was it? I felt like it was something like that where we just had a really difficult road game stretch and it wasn't ideal. This isn't, in terms of the way the schedule has fallen, there's probably the best case scenario. What do you think, Charlie?
I'm really, when I say I'm okay with the schedule, I'm really okay with it. Someone pointed out that, you know, did the NFL attempt to take our advantage away by only having one 1 p.m. game this season early on? And I would say that's a cognizant decision. Someone actively said, hey, let's do that, like intentionally. So that's not an accident. You didn't accidentally schedule games around the heat in Florida. Like, you did that intentionally. But again, this is the first time they've done this in who knows how many years. I'm not tripping. It's now, if this becomes a theme and it's consistent and they start to remove our home field advantage and we're not playing home games in September in the 1 o'clock heat, then yeah, I'm tripping, definitely tripping. But it's one season, I'm not tripping too hard. But hey, we about to get into bonus time. You got something else before we get into bonus time, Kadeem?
Outside of make sure you are liking, commenting on the video, subscribe and following all our social medias. Charlie, I can't wait to visit Hard Rock for the first time. That's the moment I walk into the stadium and hear the noise and see the field. Lifetime. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, Kadeem. Last 3 times I came to London, I got sick. Hopefully you don't get sick when you come to Florida. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like cool. I'm also going to the Houston game in Houston, so that should be fun too. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive, test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
Hey, Cat for life. I see you, boy. Kadeem, you got to go to the beach. How you gonna act, bro?
I ain't going to the beach. I'm not a beach person.
Bro, you don't have to be a beach person to go to the beach in Miami, bro. People fly all over the world to see the Miami beach.
I'm flying all over the world to see the Dolphins, not at Miami Beach. Like,
there's dolphins at the beach.
The Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium. Like, I want to tailgate. I want to meet Go Time Dolphins fans, Dolphin fans. The beach isn't something I'm really too worried about. Just how I am. Like, it might come across in my plans, but Nah, not at all.
Hey, we had a question for bonus time that one of the comments asked, didn't we?
Yeah. It was from Cap for Life. He said, let me get up very quickly. It wasn't all caps, so reports are coming out that Tua agents and the Miami Dolphins are far apart on contract negotiations. Is that true, Charlie?
It's true until it's not true. Like in a negotiation, when you say, "Yo, this ain't gonna work," you know what I'm saying? You walk away from the table, and basically you try to see what the response is gonna be like. Let's see how they react. You feel me? And the next thing you know, it's done 2 days later. You feel me? So it's here's my opinion on what's going on with Tua's contract. The Miami Dolphins really want to get it done because it gives us room to sign more people this season, right? Now, not only do we sign more people this season, we're going to be signing like 1-year deals to pretty good players, whether it's a Justin Simmons or Jamal Adams or whoever. We just brought in Odell. You feel me? So once June 1st comes up and we get that Xavier Howard money cooling, and then you get this extension done, it really opens up, and all of a sudden we're playing with cash again. So the Dolphins really want to get it done. I understand Tua wants to get it done, but it's still Jared Goff just got $53 million a year. You know what I'm saying? So it's a business. One thing I learned about the music business, someone told me this early on in my life. He was like, "Yo, this is the music business. You got to have music first, then the business comes," right? In football, it's a business, but it's the football business. You got to play football first, and then the business comes. So, yeah, that's why people don't get deals after 1 year or 2 years. And I believe Tua has earned a contract extension. And I just believe it's like, all right, where do you fit in at? Y'all know my opinion. He's probably going to get paid over $50 million. And if he gets paid less, I believe it's because he took less. I don't believe it's because, we don't think you're worth 50. I believe it's, nah, bro, I want to win the Super Bowl. Like Tom Brady ended up taking pay cuts every single paycheck. No one says anything about, he's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to win, bro, you leave money on the table sometimes. And if you don't, I'm not even going to fault you, bro. You only playing the NFL for 10 years. And on average 3. You know what I'm saying? So get your money. You're never going to tell me to have some. You're never going to hear me say someone shouldn't get their money.
100%. Shout out to Sean Eldridge. He says, fins up.
What
Jason
up?
Keck says 100% on what Charlie just said. Before I give my opinion, just a few comments. Tim Carroll says the West Coast games have extra time before to make travel better for us. I'm happy with how and where we play the games. Last season started 3 away out of 4, and the 1 at home was a 70 burger. Kenneth says, don't we want prime time for Tua so everyone can see how great he is? Jay Moore replies, if we stop pooping the bed in prime time. And then Jason Keck says, a better defense, hopefully, and less injuries. On the Tua situation, it's every dollar counts, every $1 million counts. So the same way the Dolphins and Odell Beckham were far apart in their negotiations a couple of weeks ago, I think Odell went something like 10, 11 million, according to reports. He signed for like 2 million base and then like 5 million, with incentives.
It's like 1.5 million base salary, and then another 1.5. It's like really 1.7 base salary and 1.3 signing bonus. Like, bro, the man is getting pennies on the pound. So for someone who allegedly wanted 8, 9, 10, 11 million to take 1.7 base salary, come on, man. Like, yeah, Tua could be far apart right now, but realistically, dude threw 4,600 yards last year. And prior to that, we were another force to be reckoned with in the season prior to that. So, yeah, again, something else I want to say. I told everybody those concussions were flukes. You're not supposed to hit the back of your head on the turf. See CJ Stroud, same injury. See Anthony Richardson, same injury. Both of them boys missed games because of bouncing your head on the back of the turf. Unfortunately, Tua did it 3 times. that's just wild. You know what I'm saying? People, boxers, there are fatalities in boxing because of hits like that. So yeah, man, you're not supposed to hit your head on the back of the turf.
Yeah, and right now it's May 16th. The Dolphins and Tua could be $5 million apart. Tua's base, and again, this is me in a hypothetical situation. This isn't real at all. Tua and his camp could be saying what, 55 million per year. Dolphins could be paying 50 million. It's like, hey, you know what? We'll see you in a few weeks. And in a few weeks, Dolphins said, you know what? We'll settle on 51, 52, 53. If they're far apart right now, it doesn't mean Tua is going to be playing elsewhere next year. It just means that it's a negotiation. There's going to be a back and forth. There's going to be multiple discussions. I think the one thing we've heard from various media reports is that both sides want to get a deal done.
I was just about to say that. And both sides should want to get a deal done. I think both sides, not just get a deal done. I think both sides should want to get it done urgently. I believe both sides should want that. One, the Dolphins want capital to make moves this year to win this year. Two, Tua is going to play on a $23 or $25 million fifth-year option. Bro, go secure the bag, secure your future. You know what I'm saying? So both sides should really want to make it happen ASAP.
Yeah, and even to the point where if there's no contract done by training camp, it's not an issue. Tua has already said he's not skipping any training, any camp, or anything like that. So if there's no deal done by training camp, we're still playing this year. It just means that nothing's been agreed yet. But that can be changed in a day, a week. Is what it is.
I ain't gonna lie, Kadeem. This is the last thing I got for this episode. As much as you lick your lips on this episode on while we're recording, and as much as I put on like lip balm and chapstick and stuff on the episode, we need an endorsement. That's why this one don't have no sponsor on it. But we need some type of lip balm endorsement.
Something to get on in the next weeks and months. Guys, thank you for joining us on another episode of Go Time Dolphins. Next time you see us, I will be back in London. Charles will be back wherever he is. It's been amazing. We truly are the podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I don't even think Charlie did the intro.
I did.
Charlie did. Did you?
Kadeem, I'm not you, bro. The intro. I nailed the intro. And on the coffin of the head of the nail.
We'll go back and have a look. I don't think you did. Is what it is. But yeah, guys, thank you for joining us this time. Catch us next time. I'm not going to do on Go Time, which I'll see you again very, very soon. Peace.
Peace.